So good morning, everybody. I'm joined by my colleague, Ms. Kavita from the ministry, and we are here to talk to you about two important developments. One is that after about 4 months, the 6 working groups on AI that were constituted to deal with 6 very important goals and outcomes of the India AI program have today submitted their formal report. It is an extremely comprehensive report that lays out what will be the fulcrum and the core of the India AI strategy that was envisaged by our Prime Minister some years ago. And when he talked about AI then, he talked about India for AI and AI for India. And this document and this roadmap and this plan for AI is not just about generative AI, or not just because there is a fad around or visibility around or discourse recently around ChatGPT or many of those platforms that we have heard about. But this is a deep multi-year roadmap to making India AI work to being a kinetic enabler of the $1 trillion digital economy goal, number one. Number two, that it is deployed in real life use cases that span from agriculture, healthcare, education, fintech, security, and governance, which is the India DPI. These are the areas that we believe AI can have a very transformational effect, can do much more with very little, and certainly catalyze in its wake the startup ecosystem and the entrepreneurship ecosystem that is already fueling digital India. Built into the India AI program is, apart from support for startups and a very comprehensive skilling program, are the following important components that I will share with you. The India Datasets platform, the India AI compute platform, which will be a PPP project that will create substantial GPU capacity for our startups and other researchers to train their models. The India Datasets platform, as I mentioned, is a collection which will be, in our opinion, one of the largest collection and the most diverse collection of datasets, anonymized datasets that will be used by Indian researchers and Indian startups to train their models, multi-parameter models. And in addition to skilling and support for startups, India AI will also support the development of AI chips in partnership with the Semicon India program. One very important part, and when I said real-time, real-life use cases of AI, one very important application which I did not mention, which I am now mentioning in the context of what I'm going to say next, is Industry 4.0 and robotics. And we have put out for public consultation a national robotics policy, and that public consultation is open for inputs from startups, researchers, enterprises, manufacturing companies, those who are on the demand side of Industry 4.0, those who want to upgrade to Industry 4.0. And this, in a sense, completes our strategic planning and strategic thinking for India AI. So through you, I invite all those in the robotics ecosystem, or indeed in the AI, larger AI ecosystem, to contribute to this policy and make this policy a very successful policy, just as we have seen with the other policies of the Government of India and MeitY in particular. So that is all I have to say. Thank you again for dropping in on a Friday. And I'm happy to take any questions that you have.
Sir, you said that a lot of data sets research will happen. Can you elaborate a little bit on that parameter?
A very core and the most important part of the India AI program is the collection and availability in one place of a large number of very, very diverse data sets that can form the multi-parameter requirements of models that are LLMs or foundational models for their training. And those data sets will be available in a curated manner in the India Datasets platform, which will be built and managed by an independent office in New Delhi.
So mostly it will be government policies implementation?
It will be government and it will have private sector data sets as well, but certainly all of them anonymized and not any personal data.
Sir, anonymous or non-personal data, etc. There is a huge issue about ownership, monetization of such data, and even though I'm consenting to it, and when it's being used by big corporations, with this, are we going to see some clarity on that end about who owns that non-personal data, how it's supposed to be monetized, etc.?
Good question. The answer for that is yes, and the answer for that is that the details of how this organic growth of the India Dataset platform will be enabled by a larger universe of non-personal or anonymized data will be evident when you read the DIA, the Digital India Act, because there are provisions in the Digital India Act that effectively enable this.
So what are the key recommendations of the report in terms of building infrastructure, and is there any
Yes,
investment to it?
there is certainly, and this will be uploaded, feel free to read it. It's a thick document, it's a long weekend. On the particular weekend, I invite you to read it. Certainly, it addresses all of the constituent parts to create a vibrant, robust AI ecosystem. Compute infra, system design, support for startups, the data sets, and the centers of excellence for partnership between researchers, startups, and the academic institutions. There will be centers of excellence as well that will be set up on the board.
So the main concern is that the GPUs, chipsets, and
AI infra, AI compute infra will be created. I said this as a PPP, in a PPP form.
Sir, could you just talk a little bit again about the part about AI chips and I missed it, sir. Please, if you could. So sorry.
So next time you should come on time.
I will, sir. I'm so sorry. If you could, please.
Okay. No. So like I said, the India AI, the recommendations are comprehensive. They cover, like I said, the India Datasets platform, the centers of excellence in terms of partnerships with academic institutions, skilling, support for design AI startups, financial, like we have done in semiconductors with the DLI, and AI compute infra in a PPP mode, as was asked and answered, and also a specific opportunity we see that for AI chips, there will be a partnership between India AI and Semicon India to help fund the development of the next generation of artificial intelligence chips, compute chips, which may be applications in automotive, IoT, wherever. But to do that in a broader manner with not just startups, but with also global enterprises that are working in India who intend to partner with the startup.
Sir, when will it be uploaded?
It was just given to me today. We just had a formal handing over today, and this will be uploaded in the next 10-15 years.
And sir,
yes.
Have these recommendations been approved by the, like, are you adopting all of it in toto, or will there be a decision made? And what is like the financial kind of roadmap for this? Will it be, is it expected for the next budget to be laid out in that, or?
I must get you to work in the ministry, but yeah. Look, these are recommendations that we have been actively involved in. We have catalyzed this. So broadly, like I said, those multiple outcomes that we seek from India AI, there's absolute consensus across all the working groups. Now, there may be details as we go on. As you know, we are talking about technology, so what we decide today may not be something as
data sets.
current as tomorrow. And as we go down the road, of course there will be much more inputs, there will be a lot more improvement on it, fine tuning on it. So don't take this document and it says, Kavita ji is very smartly written, first edition. And it implies that this is something that will continuously evolve. But the core goals and the core outcomes that this brings together in a very comprehensive manner to build India AI are going to be intact. In terms of budgets, etc., we will see, we will cost this. And we will certainly, look, there should be no doubt that we want to be major players in the future of AI. India, Indian startups, Indian academia, Indian companies have to be, will be, and must be major participants in the future of AI and shaping the future of AI. So I don't think budgets are going to be any limitation, and that is certainly not something that we are very concerned about.
सर बजट में वित्त मंत्री ने अनाउंसमेंट किया था एआई को पुश करने के लिए सब सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस भी बढ़ जाते हैं कैन गाइड अस क्लियर
बजट में 3 सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस के लिए वित्त मंत्री ने मेंशन किया था बजट में। वो तीनों सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस एआई के मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं, हम उनके साथ करेंगे। लेकिन हमारे हिसाब से सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस देश में 3 नहीं 10-20 होंगे आने वाले सालों में। कोई मेटी चलाएंगे, वी विल फंड इट, सम ऑफ इट विल बी प्राइवेट, सम ऑफ इट विल बी एकेडमिक, प्राइवेट एंड एंटरप्राइज पार्टनर, बट वी विल क्रिएट थ्रू दिस प्रोग्राम अ वेरी फ्लरिशिंग एंड रैपिडली ग्रोइंग इकोसिस्टम ऑफ सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस, जहाँ पे पार्टनरशिप होगा एकेडमिया, इंडस्ट्री, स्टार्टअप्स और सरकार के बीच।
So just for clarification on the overall structure, the India AI program is the overarching program,
Yes.
and the national strategy for robotics comes under it.
Correct. It is one of the major applications, real applications of AI that we see and that we will be focusing on, and this policy comes out. Correct.
So there's also the formation of a robotics intelligence unit or information unit, I'm not sure. So that is still under public consultation, that process.
Sir, as a part of this strategy, we are saying that there has to be a robotic innovation unit. So it will be on the lines of the CUE. Yes, it is as a part we are seeking inputs on. So based on the inputs, we will, that center will look into the collaboration, that will look into the standards, that will look into the sandboxing and everything which is required to create a robotics application.
There is a pattern in everything, every policy that is coming out of the government of India and making. We focus on skills and talent. That is certainly in every mission of us, semiconductors to AI to Web3, anything that we do, there will be a big pillar that is the talent. Then there is a pillar that is the innovation in the startup thing, which is in the semicon it is called DLI, here it is called Robotics Innovation Unit under robotics. But effectively supporting startups and making startups a centerpiece of the policy is a common thing that you will see in all policies coming out of the government of India, specifically from me.
So China recently, yesterday, Wednesday, they released a set of guidelines about some of the no-go areas for some content that they are collecting, etc., on which not to train future generative AI platforms, etc. In this particular case, since the government is filtering what comes into the AI data set, etc., are there going to be some overarching filters about
Also,
what's
the regulation of emerging technologies and regulation of technology in general is going to be done by the Digital India Act, which is now something that I've spoken about many times, and is on the verge of starting consultation. And there we have laid down all the guardrails and principles that will be required to be followed by innovations and startups and companies that deploy any emerging technology, including but not limited to AI.
But in this particular case, the government is filtering what comes into the overall AI data sets
It is not
program.
about data sets being filtered. It is what the data sets are used to train for.
Okay.
Regulating data sets doesn't matter. I mean, if I regulate data sets, that doesn't prevent a model from causing harm or not causing harm. The curation will not be certainly the data set. The filters will be, when we talk about filtering data sets, it's about standards,
Okay.
prefixing, indexing. making it searchable, making it fusible.
Okay.
So organizing data sets in a manner where those who want to consume the data sets can do so in a productive and effective manner. That is very different from filtering data sets.
Okay.
And certainly it is not our intention today to create too many filters around data sets. There will be certainly, we will not do anything that is personal identifier. We will certainly create through the NDMO standards for anonymization that make it very difficult for anybody who uses these data sets to de-anonymize them. So those kinds of guardrails for the data sets will take care of.
And sir, also could you give some color about the expanse of personal data that's anonymized and then converted to non-personal data? What kinds of fields are we looking at?
I don't think anybody today should even try this prediction game. And I'm certainly not one for predicting what the data sets will look like, what will be the. I think we are putting the basic building blocks together in a very solid manner. And what comes out of it will be decided by the innovators and the startups and the companies and the researchers that will use this as a launch pad for India AI and their innovation.
Sir, could I ask a non-AI related question? One question, sir. Please.
And it will just trigger all the non-AI questions.
Okay.
Bhavya.